Welcome to the Solo Edit Podcast, a podcast for estheticians looking for a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and honest conversations about life in and out of the treatment room. Do you hate selling retail? Do you always feel like you're asking your client for more money after they just shelled out money for their services? If so, this episode is for you. Today, we are not just discussing retail just to push products for the sake of making more money, although I do think, in my opinion, that it should be at least 50% of your total sales. But we are going to be talking about reframing retail as what it actually is, which is an extension of your client's service. I have a lot to talk about today, but let's start with the reframe. Most estheticians don't hate retail, they just hate selling it. I believe this due to my past personal beliefs and also how society has framed selling as a whole. It's convincing, it's pushy, you're just upselling and just making people feel uncomfortable, which it can be all of these things, but this isn't what we're talking about, and it doesn't have to be that way. When retail sales are done well, it isn't actually transactional. It's about continuing that care outside of the treatment room. Think about it this way. You spend 60 to 90 minutes with your client. You analyze their skin, you're touching their face, you're helping to calm their nervous system. You are helping to make thoughtful decisions on their behalf. And then you just send them home with nothing? That's not humility. It's a missed opportunity for both of you. Your treatment doesn't end when they leave your room. Their skin isn't just going to magically maintain itself because you did a great facial. Retail is so important, and it's how those results are going to continue to last. When you recommend home care, you're not just selling a product. You're saying, this is how you continue the work we started today. Your clients won't see it as sales if you frame it correctly. They'll see it as guidance instead. Research in service-based industries has shown time and time again that clients are actually more satisfied when they leave with clear steps. Ambiguity creates doubt, but clarity helps build trust. I recently went to an incredible spa in New York. It was a beautiful space. When I say beautiful, I actually reached out and asked them who did their branding, who decorated their space. I mean, it literally took my breath away. And the facial was pretty good too. At the end, I remember asking what products they recommended because, even though I'm an esthetician, it's like a kid in a candy store and I always want to buy more skincare. And I was told that they don't carry retail, that they don't sell it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what? That is so crazy. That is such a loss because my experience was so good that I would have bought anything they suggested, not because I needed it, let's be real, but because I wanted to take a piece of that experience home with me. And that is what retail really is. It's not just a practical purchase, but it's almost like a souvenir of how someone felt in your space. If retail feels awkward to you, it's often because the experience around it hasn't been designed. Think about how clients experience retail in your space. Is it tucked away? Do you have it behind glass doors? Does it feel like an afterthought? Small changes to these things can make a big difference. So here's a few ways to elevate the experience to make it feel less awkward for you and your client. First, I would recommend asking them during their consultation what they're currently using. Ask them how they're liking their products and if they feel like there are any gaps. Explain that you're not a 12-step routine esthetician, but it's important to have a few key staples to get the job done. Beginning that conversation during the consultation is going to be really key. Personally, I am not a fan of talking about products while a facial is being given. I find that it's distracting, and personally, I hate it when estheticians do that in my facials. But if you open the door during that consultation, it won't feel so awkward after the service. And also, I want to mention that clients love hearing about products that you love and what you consider life-changing. And if you can speak from personal experience, it just makes that whole experience that much more authentic. Other ways to enhance the experience is to include free samples with each purchase And better yet, you could include a little card explaining what it is, how to use it, and offering a small discount when they purchase a full-size bottle. Also, I have to admit, I do love a branded bag. Yes, it is a small investment, but it really elevates the experience as a whole. Always think about the packaging because those details definitely matter. This is what will make the experience feel more intentional and personal and a lot less transactional. One last thought on that is that when retail becomes part of the ritual, it doesn't feel like a pitch at the front desk. I hear this one time and time again, but I just don't have the funds to carry retail. This is one of the most common and valid concerns. Here are my thoughts on that. You can always dropship if you really are not in a position to retail. We do that on our site all the time. You can purchase products on our site. We'll ship them to your clients without any sort of brochures or packing slips. But I do think it's important to note that you do not need to buy everything at once if your goal is to start selling retail. You don't need to have full shelves. You don't have to have a ton of inventory. You just have to start slow and intentionally. So just choose a few cleansers, a few serums, a few moisturizers, ones that a majority of people can use, and also ones that you believe in and that you love yourself. And as you sell, you'll just start replenishing and you can start to purchase more products. One strategy that has helped a lot of solo estheticians, including myself when I had my treatment room, was opening a separate bank account specifically for retail inventory. All retail sales goes into that account. Then that account is only used to restock. This kind of removes that emotional weight of spending and creates that clean, sustainable system. And then your retail will just fund retail. Something else that's important is the aesthetic of your retail. Retail shelves should be organized, products should be dust-free, shelf talkers are wonderful, rack cards are also a great way to bring attention and education to your products. And if you don't know, inside our Kin Academy, Olivia has created editable shelf talkers, product education cards, and visual assets and images that you can use to help you and your business. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or design everything from scratch. These tools already exist to help support you, especially if you are doing this solo. I hope today was helpful and maybe brought a new perspective to retail. And I hope that you remember that retail isn't about being salesy. It's about an extension of the amazing service that you are already providing. If your clients trust you with their skin, they trust you with your recommendations. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you next week, same time, same place.